Some adults, some of us are adults, but it's good to have the young folks here with us. I believe Commissioner Minor, you have an introduction of our invocation today. Is that right?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to introduce a good friend of mine. Would you like me to go? This is my first time doing this. Would you like me to go to the podium, or?
You're welcome to step up to the podium or right here from the dais.
No, I'm happy to
I don't
sit
think
right
there's
here.
a script.
It's an honor for me to introduce my good friend, Reverend Wayne Curry. Reverend Curry served for 43 years as a United Methodist clergyman and was district superintendent for 8 years. Most recently, he was the senior pastor at Trinity United Methodist Church here in Tallahassee for 8 years, and we were sad to see him retire 3 years ago, but I'm sure he's happy about that. The special connection that my wife shared with the Reverend is that nearly 10 years ago, he actually married us twice, 2 times, and there's a good story there, but we'll have to save that for another time. So let's please welcome Reverend Wayne Curry to perform the invocation.
Thank you, Rick. Let us pray. A wise and loving Creator, first let me say thank you on behalf of all who are gathered here today. Thank you for your many and abundant blessings. Thank you for life itself, for the measure of health we need to fulfill our callings, for sustenance and for good friends. Thank you for the ability to be involved in useful work and for the honor of bearing appropriate responsibilities. Thanks as well for the freedom to embrace you or the freedom to reject you. Thank you for loving us even so from your boundless and gracious nature. Oh God, in the scriptures you have said that citizens ought to obey the governing authorities, since you have established those very authorities to promote peace and order and justice. Therefore, I pray for our mayor, for the various levels of city officials, and in particular for this assembled Leon County Commission. I am asking that you would graciously grant them wisdom to govern amid the conflicting interests and issues of our times. Grant them a sense of the welfare and true needs of our people. Grant them a keen thirst for justice and rightness. Grant them confidence in what is good and fitting. Grant them the ability to work together in harmony even when there is honest disagreement. Grant them personal peace in their lives and joy in their task. I pray for the agenda set before them today. Please give an assurance of what would please you and what would benefit those who live and work in and around our beloved city of Tallahassee. It's in your most blessed name I pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I will.
All right. Am I on? All right. I have the distinct honor and pleasure, Brent, you'll come on up and join me. I thought we might be able to bring Tony Parks back out of retirement, but I think he's off fishing somewhere. But in recognition of Public Works Week, we have a special proclamation that we have provided for all of our Public Works folks. Bear with me while I read the proclamation. Whereas in 1960, President John F. Kennedy proclaimed that National Public Works Week would serve as an annual reminder of the value the public works professionals contribute to all our lives. And whereas public works services provided in our community are an integral part of our citizens' everyday lives. Whereas the support of an understanding and informed citizenry is vital to the efficient operation of public works systems and programs such as water, sewer, streets, highways, public buildings, solid waste collection, parks, stormwater, and canal maintenance. That's a mouthful. Whereas the health, safety, and comfort of our community and our county greatly depends on these facilities and services as illustrated by the Florida chapter of APWA's tagline, first to respond, last to leave. Whereas the quality and effectiveness of these facilities and their planning, design, and construction is vitally dependent upon the efforts and skills of Public Works employees. Whereas the efficiency of the qualified and dedicated personnel who staff Public Works departments is materially influenced by the people's attitude and understanding of the importance of the work they perform. Whereas this year's theme, It Starts Here, represents the many facets of modern civilization that grow out of the efforts put forth by public works professionals across the United States and our local community, including infrastructure, growth and innovation, mobility, security, and healthy communities. This year's theme honors the vital contribution public works professionals make every day, and it invites the public to celebrate their quiet dedication and indispensable influence on our way of life. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Board of County Commissioners, including all of my colleagues, also signed by the County Administrator, the Board of County Commissioners of Leon County, that this week, the week of May 19th through May 25th, shall be proclaimed National Public Works Week in Leon County, Florida, and the Commission further encourages all citizens and civic organizations to acquaint themselves with the issues involved in providing public works services and to recognize the contributions which public works employees make every day to our health, safety, and comfort and quality of life. On behalf of my fellow commissioners and the county administrator, I want to present this to you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
May I just say, I didn't hear the words hurricane recovery
I cut that out.
included in that at all, but you all are where the rubber hits the road in our community so often. I really appreciate it. I know every citizen here has no idea how much they benefit from your Public Works Department.
We greatly appreciate your support.
Yeah, Brent, let me echo too. For those of you who don't know, Brent took over as Public Works Director the week before Hurricane Michael hit.
Yeah.
And talk about trial by fire and getting thrown in the deep end with cement shoes. And you came out of it smiling. So
Thank you.
You make us look good, and it's
We appreciate
much
that.
appreciated. Yeah.
We'd also like to invite you all to the Public Works Rodeo coming up on May 23rd from 8 to 2 p.m. at Tom Brown Park. So we're actually going to compete against the city of Tallahassee again, hopefully regain our trophy. So, all right, thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Vice Chair. I am pleased to be joined by Dr. Heather Flynn as we recognize Perinatal Mental Health Awareness Week. And we have a proclamation, and I will say, reading through this, I'm really glad we recognize both mothers and fathers and all the family. This is not an issue we talk about a lot. The proclamation reads, whereas perinatal mental health is an issue of great concern to mothers, fathers, and families, and whereas their healthcare providers and is therefore of interest to Leon County, and whereas many women and men are not screened or treated for perinatal mood and anxiety disorders because they may lack comprehensive health care, the understanding of the disorder, or where to go for help and care. And whereas perinatal mood and anxiety disorders do not discriminate, as families of all races, income levels, ages, and backgrounds are impacted profoundly, contributing to development and behavioral outcomes in children. And whereas increased education and heightened awareness of incidents of perinatal mood and anxiety disorders, that is a mouthful right there, is critical for all citizens of Leon County, and perinatal mood and anxiety disorders are treatable with timely therapeutic interventions. And whereas it is critical that citizens, communities, service providers, and support systems have a greater understanding of perinatal mood and anxiety disorders, the spectrum of symptoms, and critical factors identifying mothers and fathers at risk in order to provide timely diagnosis, treatment, and support to families to facilitate recovery. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Board of County Commissioners of Leon County, Florida, this week as Perinatal Mental Health Awareness Week, which raises the importance of awareness, education, and treatment through community services and referral systems. And it's dated today, the 14th of May, and signed by all the commissioners and the county administrator. Dr. Flynn, please, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for this proclamation, and I want to also thank Commissioner Lindley and Commissioner Deloge, who in the past has presented us with this important proclamation. For everybody in the room, May is Global Maternal Mental Health Month, and I just want to make sure everybody's aware that Leon County and Tallahassee is really prominent on the international scene when it comes to maternal mental health. Maternal mental health conditions, as it says, are among the most costly and burdensome in the world among all medical conditions, and actually represent the most common complication of pregnancy. And unfortunately, maternal suicide is the second leading cause of maternal death. We are trying to work on the fact that most women who have these debilitating conditions don't get screened or treated. And so despite the fact that we have easy and effective screening tools and treatments. So Leon County is very fortunate to have had a lot of work in this topic area since 2015. We have a Leon County Maternal Mental Health Advisory Board that has been gathering stakeholders to work on this issue for several years. We also would have a new federal grant, and the goal of that grant is to have 100% of women in Leon County screened by the end of the 5 years. And so we're looking forward to continuing to partner with the county to sustain some of the efforts that we're able to implement as a result of this grant and really tackle this problem. So from my bottom of my heart, thank you all so much for this proclamation. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Justin will be there.
Commissioner Minor?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This board has spoken at length about climate change and its effect on Leon County and the world. Even today, a report was released stating that the levels of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere are higher than at any point in the last 3 million years. That's before even humans existed. In January, 13-year-old Charlotte Stewart Tilley organized the very first school strike for climate in Tallahassee. Now, I wouldn't normally condone skipping school or striking school, but if there's one reason to do it, I'd say this is probably it. I read the news coverage and was inspired. And, you know, the news about climate change is so dire, but it's helpful to look at the bright spots. There's a lot of good work, a lot of leadership being shown in a whole host of places. And sometimes the young students that show motivation and compassion and concern for our Earth is some of the things that inspires us the most. So I wanted to go ahead and recognize Ms. Charlotte Stewart-Tilley. Charlotte, hey. I'm going to go ahead and read a proclamation that recognizes Charlotte as well as all the other students that are here today. Here, Charlotte, please. All right, that's all right. Whereas human-induced climate change is one of the greatest challenges of our time, and whereas we are committed to the notion that every individual must do his or her part to mitigate the effects of climate change, and whereas Greta Thunberg, a 16-year-old Swedish climate change activist, staged weekly protests outside the Swedish parliament to protest climate change, and whereas Thunberg inspires students all over the world to organize their own strikes and to utilize the hashtags School Strike for Climate, Climate Strike, and Fridays for Future. And whereas Charlotte Stewart-Tilley, that's you, a 13-year-old student with the Tallahassee Homeschool Group, was inspired by Thunberg and led the call to organize school strikes for climate at the Florida Capitol. And whereas, almost done, Stewart-Tilley was joined at her school strikes for climate by other students, including those from the Tallahassee Homeschool Group and the Magnolia School, as well as several adults. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the County Commissioners of Leon County that we recognize and honor Charlotte Stewart-Tilley and further commend the students and adults from the Tallahassee Homeschool Group, the Magnolia School, and elsewhere for being great stewards of the environment and for inspiring us all to work towards slowing climate change. All right, thank you all very much. And then Charlotte would like to say a few words. Charlotte.
Greta Thunberg, the inspiring founder of the school strike movement, never knew how many people would join her or how much change she would create. On our biggest strike day, March 15th, we had over 1.5 million people striking globally. We as a species are just starting to open our eyes and look at the damage we have created over the last century. This is a big turning point in history, and our descendants will remember us. When our descendants remember us, I hope they don't see us as blind to the truth or ignorant of the truth, that hurting the very planet we live on was a bad idea. I hope they see us as we, standing here today, are people who are prepared to take on revolutionary action and radical action to combat the greatest crisis we have ever faced. I would like to thank the students of Grassroots, Magnolia, they're all here supporting me today, SAIL, and other members of my homeschool community, and my many mentors. And I'd like to thank you for recognizing the youth who have joined me and the adults who have joined me. Thank you, Commissioner Minor.
Charlotte, good. Why don't you hold that?
Charlotte, what district do you live in?
Commissioner Dozier.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Commissioner Minor, for suggesting the proclamation for Charlotte and for all of you for being here. I just wanted to mention that I think we can all celebrate the incredible work that these students have done on just an issue that is as important as you just said. I will not try to repeat your eloquent words. I know you're behind the podium over there. But I also wanted to say that any type of activism like this, particularly on behalf of our young people, inspires so many more people than we could possibly imagine. And I was at SAIL for Women's History Month, and 2 students came up and said, we want to work on a different issue similar to how Charlotte did this. How do we do that? So I just wanted you all to know that your action is not just helping us focus on this incredibly important issue of climate change, but you're inspiring young people to think about other issues they may want to get engaged on, and that's really powerful. So thank you all very much.
Commissioner Maddox, sorry.
Mr. Chair, thank you. I couldn't let this opportunity pass by, and I think Commissioner Dozier being very humble in this moment. But I know Commissioner Lindley in particular remembers a young lady in her young teenage years coming up to stand before a commission to fight for a cause herself, who would later go on to become a county commissioner. And that young lady was Commissioner Dozier. And while you were up speaking, Charlotte, I couldn't help but see a young commissioner advocating on a cause that she believed in. And so, Mr. Chair, if you don't mind, I didn't want to let this opportunity pass by without not only having a picture with Commissioner Minor, but also having that young lady take a picture with someone who was in her shoes not too long ago, in Commissioner Dozier.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
no, I mean, it's pretty cool because you think about it, when I was 15, all I worried about was football. You know, had no idea what government was, and all I watched was cartoons. So to think about, you know, you taking on the challenge that you took on to lead this charge here in Leon County, and knowing that not too long ago, someone who sits up here did the same thing at your age is a pretty special thing to be a part of. So I appreciate you doing that for me, Mr. Chair.
Absolutely.
Mr. Chair, if we can indulge us for just a second, Commissioner Maddox, or Commissioner Linden, we've got an extra chair right here. Could we invite Charlotte up for a second to take a picture sitting right here?
Sure. That way.
Wonderful. It would take about the same amount of time. Come on up.
Vote Commissioner Proctor out. He's out of chambers.
Let the record show that was Commissioner Delogier's idea, that I had nothing to do with it. I did not comment, and I will not vote.
I'm recusing.
Okay. There we go. Good. Not a bad view, is it?
While Commissioner Deloge makes his way to the dais, in my other job, Charlotte, I am a school principal, and I'm going to cut you some slack, and I'm going to let you have that strike day as not counting towards your official attendance records. But yeah, how proud it makes me to see young people taking charge. Thank you so much for presenting today.
Absolutely.
Commissioner Deloge.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I just wish I could have used climate change when I was in your age to get out of school. But anyway, nice going. Well played. I'd like to ask Neil Fleckenstein and Dr. Bill Palmer to come up and join me, if you don't mind. We've got a proclamation today, before I read it, for Tall Timbers. Most of y'all are aware of what Tall Timbers is. I'm going to ask Dr. Palmer to take a few minutes. He's the executive director after we read the proclamation. But I'm not sure how many people are aware of the fact that in our region, there's almost a $200 million economic impact from the quail hunting of South Georgia, North Florida. And as Neil told me, they went out to the Thomasville Airport at one point and measured during quail season, and something like, and I can let him hit 95% of the planes that come through there, and there are a lot of planes, are for quail hunting. And these are lots of private planes that are coming in and out. That, to put it in perspective, Wellington in South Florida, which is a huge equestrian area, that exceeds their equestrian economic impact. So we've got something in our backyard that I think we ought to celebrate, and I wanted to make sure we recognize them today. So with that, I'm going to read the proclamation. So, whereas Tall Timbers celebrated its 60th year of operation in 2018 with the mission of fostering exemplary land stewardship through research, conservation, and education, and whereas Tall Timbers is a premier biological research station, the birthplace of fire ecology research, the home of the Prescribed Fire Science Consortium, the home of the South's premier quail research program, and the Stoddard Bird Lab. And whereas Tall Timbers is a nationally recognized and accredited land conservancy protecting nearly 150,000 acres in the Red Hills region and other critical landscapes, and whereas Tall Timbers is a partner in helping our Red Hills communities grow smarter and more sustainably, And whereas Tall Timbers is a widely respected nonprofit organization helping people solve local, regional, and national conservation issues. Now therefore, be it resolved by the Board of the County Commissioners of Leon County, Florida, that the Board honors and congratulates Tall Timbers for more than 60 years as a local, regional, and national leader in natural resource research, conservation, and education. Further, the Board recognizes and thanks Tall Timbers Board of Trustees and staff for their dedication and commitment to the mission, signed by all 7 of the commissioners and our county administrator. And I'd just like to say congratulations. I mean, you guys are a kind of a diamond in the rough, a little something a lot of people aren't aware of in our backyard, and I wanted to make sure we kind of shine a light on it. So thank you very much. You want to come up? You want to come up and say a few words? Yeah.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Lowe's. We greatly appreciate this honor of this proclamation. I'm Bill Palmer, the president of Tall Timbers. And Tall Timbers is an interesting organization. We're a lot of different things to a lot of different people. Locally, we have this tremendous man over here that does wonderful work with the county and city to help smart growth in our community, to protect the quality of life for citizens here, the quality of water, rivers, the bay. From a science standpoint, we're nationally and internationally known. You may or may not know that prescribed fire was basically born in Leon County at Tall Timbers, the science of prescribed fire. And nationally, if you think about it, this nation is at a really major crossroads in how they're dealing with the wildfire issues that happen east and west, and they're going to get worse with global warming. We're proud to have one of our scientists in the scientific report for this country. So we're tackling it head on, and we've created a national prescribed fire science consortium. We're bringing 60 to 70 scientists annually from around the country and world to study this issue here. And why? Because we have never lost the culture of fire in this area. We smell smoke. We know people are burning. We recognize the biodiversity benefits, the water quality benefits. It's because it benefits people's lives, not just for quail. And every other part of the country is struggling with this. So we're the epicenter. This is where everyone's coming to figure out how can we change this for our nation. And we've been very successful as an organization building on that, taking this legacy and carrying it forward. We'll do over $11 million of business this year, largely on the fire issue. We also have our wildlife research and our wonderful land conservancy. And so what Tall Timbers is really about is quality of life and recognizing that prescribed fire is the fire we use, it's the fire we need to study. And unfortunately, while Leon County and our state recognizes that, other parts of the country have been trying to fight wildfires, and those aren't the fires we use. Those are the fires we try ineffectively to stop. So I'm very proud of Tall Timbers. I'm very proud of this proclamation and thankful for it. And I hope you learned a little bit more about Tall Timbers with my quick, there is no quick elevator speech for Tall Timbers, but thank you very much.
Take a quick picture here. Yeah, let's do this.
Commissioner Dozier?
Thank you. Really appreciate the proclamation, information that most people are not aware of. Thank you for the history, Bill. I just wanted to add a little comment to what you said about this gentleman standing next to you, Neil Fleckenstein, who, you're absolutely right, does a tremendous amount to support Leon Tallahassee. If I'm not mistaken, you were just on the slide, Neil, 2 pictures ago at a Village Square event talking about land use and other things. Also served on our the Charter Review Committee, and just today made it into Leadership Tallahassee. So congratulations on that. Great advocate for our area, but thank you all for everything Tall Timbers does. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Nice,
Appreciate
thanks.
it.
I think, let me weigh in one more time, too. In my travels with the National Association of Counties, one of the biggest issues we have out west particular is public lands, and specifically when it comes to public lands related to national forests and wildlife, the forest management, because what happens is the federal government is not burning. And so you've got a lot of private sector areas out there that are impacted, and I hear now, this is something I learned recently, that Tall Timbers is actually playing a role in helping educate some of the people about, from a federal standpoint, how do we manage some of that public land so that some of the areas around there are more safe. So anyway, thank you for what y'all do. Appreciate it.
And I might add, I can just see these students taking a field trip to Tall Timbers because it really connects with the climate change and the wildfire problems too. So You guys got here in a
That
good time.
Frequent burning results in carbon sequestration, not carbon release, so it helps global warming. Thank you.
All right. Next up, we have our presentation on the Tobacco-Free Leon Partnership and students working against tobacco. Thank you for coming today. We're excited to have you here.
Thank you for having me. Good afternoon. My name is Natalie Singleton. So most of the time, I am a marketer and publicist for North Florida Women's Care, which is a local OBGYN. So I would also like to doubly thank you for the Maternal Mental Health Proclamation. But I'm also the interim chair for Tobacco-Free Leon Partnership. And in our partnership meetings, you find a good cross-section of public and private organizations, so local businesses and charities. And we all gather with a common mission to empower youth and adults in the community with the resources they need to live free of tobacco and its harmful effects. So we do that in a variety of ways. We coordinate cessation resources and youth prevention programs like our SWAT program, which is Students Working Against Tobacco, which is mostly peer prevention. And we also try to locally combat, tobacco's very powerful advertising. So we're here today primarily out of concern for our community's youth. According to the most recent Florida Youth Tobacco Survey, which is conducted by the Department of Education and the Department of Health, the average age that youth in Leon County buy a tobacco product for the first time is age 14. At least 25% of Leon County youth have tried smoking a cigarette in the past 30 days, and 11% of them purchase tobacco products from local retailers here in Leon County. Also, the FDA recently performed a randomized age of sale compliance check for retailers, and of the mere 1,300 warning letters that were sent out, one came here to Leon County for selling to minors. So, anecdotally, I noticed a stark contrast between like the east side of town and then traveling over to the west side of town, where there's a large population of students. There's also a large, dense concentration of tobacco retailers. And actually looking at a map the other day of where tobacco retailers were located, it proved that is true. They are more likely to be in the sides of town where there are more students and low-income citizens. So in response to all these findings, we are drafting a local county tobacco retail license, which retailers would need to pay in order to sell tobacco in Leon County. This would be a fee, not a tax. And it would mirror the state license, but it would add an extra layer of compliance and accountability for retailers just to ensure that they're doing the most that they can do in regards to things like product placement in their stores, clear age of sale signage, and the number and placement of tobacco advertising. So the draft may or may not include vape shops and vape products because technically under state law, vape products are not considered tobacco products. Alachua County was the first trailblazer in Florida to pass a local retail license. They passed theirs in January of this year, and it'll take effect in September. And in theirs, they actually raised the age of sale to 21. So we wanted to bring to the county's awareness that we are in the drafting process. We are still exploring local, public, or private options for the fee collection and for the enforcement. And we welcome any input that you might have. And if the licensing should pass, we look forward to working with you for notifying and educating the local retailers on the new local retail license. So, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Any comments? All right. Any questions?
We don't currently have this as an agenda item or anything
Yeah.
like that, is that correct?
There is not a vote or anything.
Okay. I wouldn't mind looking at your draft or other things, and I think we could go from there in the future. But I just hadn't seen anything like that. Wasn't sure if it had come up for us yet. So we'd probably benefit by seeing the draft ordinance if you can send it to all of us.
Sure.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you once again. All All right, Mr. Administrator, I think we're ready at this time to move on to the consent agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioners, we have no consent items pulled.
Second.
All right, it's been moved to approve and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Passes unanimously. Do we have any citizens to be heard on thank you so much for coming, young people. Thank you. Any citizens to be heard on non-agenda items?
We do not.
We'll move on to general business then at this time. Ratification of the April 23rd, 2019 fiscal year budget work.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioners, this item seeks the board's ratification of your actions at the April 23rd fiscal year 2020 budget workshop as reflected in options 1 through 10. Upon your ratification, this direction will be included in your next budget workshop, which will be on June 18th, and we have one speaker on this item. With that, Mr. Chairman, Stanley Sims.
Mr. Sims, how are you, sir? Get your name and address for the official record. Good to see you today.
My name is Stanley Sims. I'm at 1320 Avondale Way. I saw those kids here, so I thought that they were going to speak, so I thought I'd cheat the system and just put down something in order to bring my comments. I really, first of all, want to thank the county administrator and thank Ms. Warner Hunter for providing a window of opportunity for me and Dr. Taylor to share our ideas in reference to the Fair Wage Work Co-op. I also want to thank your assistant, Commissioner Minor, for really giving us some real good direction and moving forward. I came today, I'm headed now to the school board meeting because, this is so precious to me. This project is really dear to me. And Commissioner Dozier, unfortunately, I've been on this battlefield a long time, and I didn't come like you did when you were 16 with such pause and adequacy, but Tallahassee has been so nice to me that they have looked beyond my faults and seen my need and my passion. And so I'm trying to rise to the occasion and wear a nice tie and use very nice words and say, I got an email today, but I really want to say this is that this project is geared toward a target population that has been economically depressed for years. We have the support of key community sustainable projects. And I'm asking that there's been suggested by city government that they will only participate if we have a mandatory buy-in from other partners. I'm just asking that, not that I'm concerned, because I don't want to throw this, Mr. Chairman, as if that your staff, the county staff, has made that suggestion. They haven't. They have been very, very cooperative with me. I'm just trying to do damage control. Y'all get it, and this is about the cleanest and the nicest way, and I can do it. So this project is, if you have any questions, it has changed, Mr. Vice Chair, Mr. Deloach, since we've met, and Commissioner Dozier. I'm not neglecting you, Commissioner Maddox, but, I've had 3 strokes, and I spend my time with this biggest tree. Thank you all. I promise to only give y'all 3 minutes today. Thank you. I'm headed to school board. Y'all call and let them know I'm on my way.
All right, Mr. Sims, travel safely, sir. We appreciate you. Mr. Administrator, item 9, no, we're on item 9. I think we've already, we need a motion for items. Okay, motion for options 1 through 10. It's been seconded by Commissioner Lindley. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Passes unanimously. Next up, I believe Herb will have the next two agenda items. Is that right, Mr. Attorney?
Mr. Chairman, your next item, agenda item 10, is essentially just a request to schedule the public hearing on the adoption of the ethics ordinance for your June 18 meeting. But it's also a chance to show you the product that we have created. As you know, the referendum in November adopted a charter change requiring that we have an ethics policy that is now reflected in ordinance, not just policy. And so when you adopt this, the policy that you now have will go away. It'll now be a law. There's no ringers in here that make anything different than Chapter 112, but it does make it much closer to home. It does include a lobbyist registration, and we've cleaned up some of the language in that. We use the opportunity to consolidate all of the definitions in one section, and it is now set forth in 3 different divisions, if you would, including the anti-lobbying provisions, which will now comport with the constitutional amendment that it also passed in November. So we recommend option 1 to go ahead and schedule the public hearing, and I think at the end of the public hearing on June 18th, we will be a better local government.
All right, so option 1 is staff recommendation to schedule that meeting on June 18th. We have a motion?
I'll second that, Mr. Chair, and
Okay.
just with a quick comment.
Sure, go ahead.
Appreciating,
Go ahead, Commissioner Dozier.
Ms. County Attorney, you and your office looking through this, and I'm sure Ms. County Administrator, I know in our briefing we talked about you all looking at this item as well. I'm glad we're moving forward. This is the right thing to do. We probably could have made this on our own. I'm glad it went to the voters, and it is clear that this is moving us forward and just clearing up a lot of the old issues. So, or not misinformation. I am using the wrong words on an ethics item. I should never do that. Some of the confusion or the definitions, as you said. I think this is really putting us in the right place. So, thank you,
Commissioner Lindley.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out, I think a lot of people feel that we are constantly bombarded with visits from high-powered lobbyists, and I'm glad we have this lobbyist piece in this ordinance. And yet, mostly, I think for me and probably the rest of you, we mostly hear from citizens, neighborhood groups, individuals who have issues and concerns about what's happening here in local government, home rule. And I know that we're probably all going to be more diligent about making sure when we're speaking with professional lobbyists that everything is, we know exactly what that's all about. But I hope people will not hesitate to come talk to us, and I don't think that they will, who are private citizens who just want to be heard here by their county commissioners. So to me, that's kind of a distinction. I honestly hadn't even given a lot of thought to it myself until I was rereading this ordinance, that I would say 90% of our visitors and people who speak to us are private citizens as opposed to official lobbyists.
Go ahead.
It's those middle school kids that come talking about climate change is what really rocks it here.
That's big work. Okay, well, the motion's been made and it's been seconded. All those in favor of scheduling the public hearing signify by saying aye. Aye. Passes unanimously. And Mr. Attorney, I think you're on item number 11 as well.
Mr. Chairman, I know there's no do-overs, but I forgot to mention that the county administrator and his staff created a really slick ethics brochure and distributed it sometime last year that is really a key to have. Not a lot of folks like to read our code book, but employees having that book in their hand with the, this means you kind of thing, I think was a great add-on. So that and the boring lectures I give on ethics are the combo deal. So anyhow, moving along to item number 11. We were contacted by the Gulf Consortium, which is composed of 23 Gulf counties that are the recipients of the Recovery Act money for the oil spill platform. And two of those counties are represented as county attorney by the same firm that represents the Gulf Consortium. And so they approached me and said, would you be willing to act as the general counsel on a conflict basis when Wakulla and Okaloosa are the applicants and need their applications reviewed for compliance with the Code of Federal Regs? I said, sure, we're here in town. We've done some other things for the Gulf Consortium in the past, including being their purchasing department for a period of time and running their books for a period of time. And so it seemed like a natural combination, and I don't think it will involve a lot of time. And what time it does involve, we will bill them for that on an hourly basis. And so we recommend that you approve it.
All right, looks like it's moved by Commissioner Lindley, seconded by Commissioner Dozier. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, moving on to item number 12. Mr. Administrator.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioners, this item seeks board consideration of a proposal to provide additional free and family-oriented concerts at the Capital City Amphitheater through an agreement with the Downtown Improvement Authority to extend its summer concert series through the fall of 19. The item has a fiscal impact of $30,000, which is before you. Funding to support the extension of the concert series is available through the Division of Tourism's existing budget, and we're happy to answer any questions you might have. We have no speakers on this item.
All right, I think Commissioner Lindley wants to...
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to move the item, but also I'm your board's representative on the Downtown Improvement Authority, and we appreciated Carrie Post, the tourism director, being there yesterday for our meeting, and every member of the Downtown Improvement Authority is really happy and pleased to be able to extend these concerts, which have been super interesting and fun and important and free for our community in the last few years. And so to have more, to use our wonderful, cost-effective Cascades Park amphitheater even more is great. And so I know the DIA is excited about this partnership with the county, and I'm very happy to support this motion.
All right, it's been moved by Commissioner Lindley, seconded by Deloge, but there's a commissioner in queue, Commissioner Dozier.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think this is a great partnership. I'm glad we can move forward with this, and thanks for the update on the DIA, Commissioner Lindley. I'm excited about some of the changes we're already seeing with our new director, Elizabeth Emanuel. I believe I'm right, Ms. County Administrator, you're bringing back an item in June, looking at the amphitheater, our concert series in general. Is that right? That's correct. Okay. I think this is a good way to continue to activate the space. I like the free concerts, all of that. I'm really looking forward to that item, though, because I'm sure, like you all, I'm starting to hear some questions about the amphitheater. There's a lot of different things going on, but people really love the space, and we have been working on this for a while, and I think that that update will help us envision how we can work on it or utilize the amphitheater better in the future. I hope it will. And this is the type of example that I think could really propel us to have more events out there. Ms. County Administrator, I did want to make sure any update on sound issues, on construction, on the weatherproofing of the stage, those types of things. As we look at the concert series, some of the issues that may come up may deal with the construction or other issues like that, and I think it might be helpful to have that in the item, just any kind of updates, so we can have as robust a conversation as possible. Is that good?
That'd be great. No
Thank
problem.
you. Mr. Chair.
I'm going to lean in on this one. I don't talk a whole lot, but this is one I felt strongly about. I compare it to when I looked at the item and read over it and read some of the criticisms regarding exactly what we do. When you get 80,000 or 90,000 folks that come to sit in the seats at Doak Campbell Stadium, it's not the price of the ticket that we're counting on for the economic impact. for those families that come into town. All of us know that they bring a significant economic impact to Tallahassee and Leon County. I think it's important we try to see it with a big picture and not a set of blinders when we look at bottom lines. That's it. That's all I have. Motion's been made. It's been seconded. Made by Commissioner Lindley, seconded by Commissioner Deloge. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Passes unanimously. Mr. Administrator, any other items of business on the general agenda?
That concludes general business, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Before we go to commissioner comments, I will remind you that we have a scheduled public hearing for 6 o'clock. I think our colleagues will be joining us from across Monroe Street. We'll go ahead to commissioner comments at this time. And Commissioner Minor, you're the lucky guy that gets to go first.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Baby boomers are retiring at the rate of 10,000 a day, and they will be for the next 10 years. And over the last several weeks, we've been kind of working on the concept of an idea and spoken with Domi Station as well as Florida AARP on the idea of cultivating an entrepreneurial environment for our retiring baby boomers. There's a tremendous amount of talent in Tallahassee among folks that are 55 plus. And spent the last few weeks trying to figure out if this idea was viable, if it was interested, if there was general interest. It's something that Domi Station has expressed a desire to possibly work with the county on, as well as Florida AARP. And so what I'd like to ask the board is to allow county staff to explore this concept of doing a senior entrepreneurial type of environment, perhaps at Domi Station or elsewhere. So I'd like to propose that we add this on as a future agenda item after county staff has a chance to vet the idea and explore it somewhat.
I believe the motion is to bring an agenda item back, and it's been seconded by Commissioner Maddox, a senior entrepreneurial study. Is that captured?
Investigating the idea, the viability of a pilot project.
Okay. Mr. Administrator, are you able to catch that? Okay. Weigh in. All right. Commissioner Deloge.
Well, as somebody who this might represent, the Senior Center does TALL, which is basically an abbreviated leadership program for seniors, and next week they have their Silver Stars event, just as a notation. And then the Choose Tallahassee initiative would certainly be part of that process potentially as well. So you figured so that we can loop in with that. But yeah, there are a lot of people that come to our community that either have retired early or have made the decision to retire that have a ton of horsepower. And we ought to figure out how do we capitalize on some of that and maybe help be a catalyst for that. So good idea.
Commissioner Dozier.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Commissioner Minor, I like the idea. I guess I'm going to be interested to see the agenda item, the report, what type of pilot program you might be interested in. I kind of wonder if this may be partnership with the city or OEV, but I think starting here is really great. I'm wondering if you would accept, I don't know if this is necessarily an amendment, but I think entrepreneurial area is really good to focus on as business owners. There's also an initiative started with DOMI and Innovation Park and several other partners to establish a mentors network. And so if a senior was not, a retiree was not necessarily starting a business, they could certainly help others start business and some of that expertise. So I just wonder if that's mixing two things and you want to keep it just on the entrepreneurial piece, that is just fine. I just wonder if our staff could look at how we partner to help connect seniors with either pipeline.
Commissioner Minor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In our discussions, our preliminary discussions with Domi Station, they expressed just that same sentiment. I think the idea of this pilot would be to help cultivate an entrepreneurial environment among our seniors, our 55 plus, our baby boomers, but there will be no doubt some cross-pollination that we can encourage.
That sounds great.
There'll be,
Yeah.
if you talk to folks at Domi Station, they'll say, having someone on the team that has 3 or 4 decades of business acumen could be very beneficial to some of these projects.
Mm-hmm.
And the inverse is true as well. So I think there's a lot of opportunity for that.
That sounds great. I look forward to it.
Right. So the motion's been made by Commissioner Minor, seconded by Commissioner Maddox. All those in favor of that agenda item being brought back, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Passes unanimously. Any other items, Commissioner Minor? All right. I'm interested during the break in hearing how you were married twice to the same woman. So I'll tune in for that with a glass of tea. Commissioner Dozier.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. For the May 28th Commission meeting to be presented here, I would like to request proclamations, one for Rabbi Jack Romberg and one for Audrey Romberg for their service to the community.
Second.
Thank you.
Motion's been made, it's been seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Passes unanimously.
And Mr. Chair, one just quick update, or if any of you have any questions, since this is our opportunity to discuss these issues together, I want to say first and foremost that I was about giddy at our last commission meeting when we talked about the transmission line, and to hear the really thoughtful response from all of you and the unanimous support we had to send the letters to DEP, Department of Historic Resources, and to NextEra FP&L. I think the letters that our staff prepared, Mr. Chair, I know you have seen them, I think everyone else got them, really distilled a lot of good, critical questions. And after our meeting, you would likely know that the city took action. They approved negotiations with the MOU, but Commissioner Richardson and Matlow both said they wouldn't approve the final MOU if it included Tram Road. And Commissioners Williams, Cox, and Bryant were very strong in their comments, even if they didn't draw that line. I think they were very strong. The mayor, of course, recused himself. I then spoke at the Jefferson County Commission same week and had, at the invitation of their chair, Barfield, and they unanimously supported sending the same letters or similar letters. They were going to work on that. What I've seen in the last 2 weeks with 3 governments getting on board with the same issue and having the same message, protecting Leon County and Jefferson County residents, has been remarkable. And I'm really proud of us. There's a lot more work to do, and there will be more updates. The company started having some meetings last week. I know that they met with me, they met with you, Mr. Chair, and the county administrator. But I just wanted to let you all know that I think our unified response to this, even though we're told, and we know, legally we don't have power to review this project or anything else, I think we are having an impact, and the residents of Leon and Jefferson are profoundly thankful for the action from this board taking leadership on that and the actions by the city and Jefferson. So I just wanted to share that with you all. If there's any questions, I could try, or I'm sure Ms. County Administrator could try as well, or to answer them. But I think in the next month we may see some more come from the city, come from others, and I am actually optimistic for the first time. So thank you all. That's it, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, I wish that I could take all the credit for that, but Herb does a great job of articulating things and walking the fine line, and I appreciate his guidance on that. Commissioner Maddox.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. First things first, Commissioner Proctor's not here because I think he said he was going to attend his daughter's graduation. So I want to take this opportunity to tell her congratulations, and tell Commissioner Proctor congratulations as well for getting a young lady through college. Is pretty special. So I know it's a special weekend for him, a special day for him. So let him know we haven't forgotten about him, and wish him well while he's up. I think he's up at Temple, I believe, while he's up at Temple with his daughter. The second thing was I had the opportunity to attend this morning the All-In press conference. I was very impressed with the initiative that the sheriff has started, is continuing to keep going. I believe that the initiative started a couple years ago, didn't it, Mr. County Administrator, I believe? Yeah, it started a couple years ago. But the amount of momentum that he's been able to gather and the community partners involved in law enforcement as well as clergy and community members that he's been able to put together was pretty impressive. And the words they had to say when it came to how we're going to go about dealing with violence in our community was inspiring. And so I didn't say it while I was up there. Matter of fact, I didn't even go on stage because it's just not my way just to be on stage all the time. But I wanted to let everybody know, this community know that I am all in. I think this commission is as well, and we support what the sheriff is trying to do. And the community members who have taken on this task as a member of this community to try to conquer the violence that we've seen lately, I appreciate it for one, and I know your neighbors appreciate it. And in order for us to really move the ball when it comes to violence, it's not something that a government can do by itself, whether it's the city, county, or the state. Quite frankly, your next door neighbor is the best person to help you combat these types of issues. And so I charge the community with doing what those folks who were at that press conference today did and taking up the responsibility of helping us deal with the problems that we have here when it comes to crime. And so I didn't want to let the opportunity pass by without saying that I appreciate the sheriff's charge with All In, and I also appreciate all the partners who came to the table today to speak specifically on the All In initiative.
Commissioner Maddox, this would be a good time for me to segue into a proclamation that I was going to recommend, but I would certainly
I'll make the motion.
Turn that to you.
Yes, sir.
If you don't mind.
Sheriff has asked that we make a motion that we provide a proclamation supporting the All In initiative. So I will make a motion that proclamation be given or presented to the sheriff at our next commission meeting.
Been made, and I believe that I checked with my vice chair, and he said I could second it, so I've seconded the motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Passes unanimously. We'll have that presented at the May 28th meeting.
Last but not least, on June 8th, my dear wife and her dance studio will be having their annual dance recital. She would kill me for calling it a recital, but I'm going to call it a recital. I say that just to tell her publicly how much I appreciate the job she does. I mean, it's like 70 or 80 kids that she deals with, and day in, day out, those kids absolutely love and appreciate what she does, and I think she should be recognized. So this is my opportunity to do it in front of the whole public. So I want to take the opportunity to tell her that she's doing a special thing. Man. It's Maddie's Youth Dance Company. This is not advertisement. This is just me saying she's doing a great job. And then also I wanted to, last but not least, thank the superintendent. Yesterday I had an opportunity to go to the school board's workshop, and I had an opportunity to look at all the things they're doing innovatively to try to deal with their budget, and also to try to make sure the quality of our education in Leon County is top notch. And Mr. Chair, I know you can identify with this. The innovations and changes they're making at the district level these days is something that we should all be able to appreciate. You can't fully appreciate it unless you're able to sit in front of that school board and the superintendent and watch them work. But I'll tell you, it's good to see the levels of government in Leon County working the way we're working, actually coming together in certain times to make sure that we're addressing the needs that we have in our community, whether it be city, county, or school board related. And so I wanted to make sure I gave a quick shout out to the school board and superintendent for the job they're doing. And Mr. Administrator, I did have a question about when it comes to, actually one of the things they brought up was, and it may be a CRTPA issue, but the roundabout that's at Jim Lee, right going towards Rickers High School, it's not mandated that you have crossing guards out there because it's a high school. But at the same time, I mean, people go through that roundabout pretty quickly, and it can become a dangerous thing when it comes to kids trying to cross in the morning. If there's anything we can do in the way of safety, maybe flashing lights or something somewhere off of Orange or around that area at those crosswalks, I believe that the district would appreciate it, as well as those students that are trying to cross to get to high school. And so I wanted to put that on your radar.
We'll take a look at it.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Lindley.
All All right, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Well, a few things I just wanted to celebrate, and one was, I think you were at the FSU College of Medicine's opening of its primary health clinic on Eisenhower and Roberts Road on Friday. I was able to go on Saturday as well, and I just am so excited. It seems like this is not only a great town gown moment, and those are sometimes kind of hard to come by, but also it's a real statement solidifying, community interest in an area that's kind of underserved. We know it's underserved in a lot of ways. It's a beautiful new facility. We'll provide health care and wellness programs for a lot of students, or not a lot of students, a lot of citizens in the South and Southwest. And I think they particularly were mentioning the Fort Braden area. That new clinic will be perhaps the closest healthcare clinic available. So that was really real moving. I was very happy to be a part of that. I wanted to salute our Blueprint Director, Autumn Calder, and all the others who participated in our How We Grow From Here program with the Village Square last week. And Neil Flickenstein was there as well. That was a really tremendous, just wide-ranging conversation. Citizens very involved, very civil, but I think all of us got a lot out of that. A lot of topics that we talk about all the time, but it was an excellent program. I was so proud of the county for working on that. A third thing, I went to the tourism luncheon, which was really fun, and Carrie is just a rock star. She's not only a great leader of her own team and staff, but the whole community of people who are marketing our area in so many ways look to you for leadership. And I was really quite dazzled. And I might even take this seasoned local bucket list adventure that you or someone in your shop has dreamed up, an online way of getting out this summer and going around to different events and areas in our community. And I'm not sure, do you get a monetary prize or something on this? Just the satisfaction of a job well done. But it's a great program, and go online to look at seasonedlocal.com, and you can have some fun with that this summer. So under the not fun arena, I saw that the governor had actually vetoed the legislature's effort to prevent local governments from discussing anything having to do with plastic straw bans. So, while I'm not altogether 100% certain I'm in favor of a ban on plastic straws in our community, I would like to make a motion that we have an agenda item looking into programs that might be available in our community to start addressing the use of this, whether it's incentives or marketing or something. But I think we need to step right up to the plate and at least be able to make an official statement by our county commission on our interest in this dire pollution issue that we know is getting worse and not better. And so I would like to make a motion that we have an agenda item on plastic straws, their effect on our environment, and if there is something that we can do locally to sort of abate that.
All right, motion's been made, it's been seconded by Commissioner Dozier. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes unanimously.
Thank you. Also, I wanted to say appreciate that we got $50,000 appropriation from the legislature. Thank you, Andy Johnson, for marshaling and herding through that amount of funds for our Leon Works and apprenticeship program. The career training stuff seems to be really kind of a big issue statewide, and I am so pleased that we have been leading the way on that for now going on 5 years. So thank you for your work on that. I appreciate it. That's all I have. Thank you.
All right, back to Commissioner Maddox. This is your one-time shot. Go.
Two things. One, I wanted to speak on when you brought up the luncheon, the tourism luncheon. It made me think about the TDC. I wanted to thank the TDC for bringing back the idea of looking at a sports complex feasibility study. I'm pretty excited about that. The thing that the comment that I wanted to make with it, though, is I think we did one maybe, 4 years ago or so? Yeah. I think that, if we're gonna move in that direction, I really want us to consider moving on it. whatever it takes to move on it. Because to have to do that study 4 years ago and to come back to do another one now, and I don't want to have to say 4 or 5 years from now we're going to look at doing another one. You know, it's one of those things where every time you have to do a new one, it's like, well, when are we really going to pull the trigger on it? If you look across the county at what we've done as far as sports facilities is concerned, in particular Appalachian Regional Park and that cross-country track we got out there is world-renowned. NCAA finals, also high school finals out there. I mean, it's become an economic hub for our community, and so I'm a strong advocate for us not only doing the study, but starting to take the steps to make sure that we deliver on that study and starting to make something happen when it comes to a sports facility. Last thing I wanted to bring up, thank you, Mr. Chair, for indulging me for a second, is I want to congratulate our mayor, who was actually the commencement speaker at FSU as well as TCC. Pretty strong feat there for him. And our former mayor, Mary Gillum, for being the commencement speaker at FAMU, was able to go over to FAMU on Friday to see their graduation. He spoke very eloquently. And last but not least, want to congratulate all of those who graduated this past week. Was it this past weekend or weekend before? Was this past weekend? Yeah, weekend before for graduating, getting through those 4 years, 5 years, maybe 6 years for some, here in Tallahassee. And we hope that we wish you much success in your futures. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Minor, your one do-over.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Two things real quickly. Thanks for indulging me. The Springhouse Institute is applying for a state matching grant. And if they're awarded the grant, they will be able to proceed and move forward with restoration of the Springhouse. As you all know, Springhouse is the only residence in Florida that's been designed by the architect Frank Lloyd Wright, one of the historical landmarks of Leon County. I'd like to ask the board to approve the drafting of a letter in support of that grant that they'd submit along with the grant application.
All right, motion's been made for a letter to support the Springhouse. Seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Then lastly, I wanted to reiterate what Commissioner Lindley had said about the How We Grow panel. That was terrific. Barry Wilcox, as our moderator, was outstanding, and the county staff that put it all together just did a great job. I mean, the conversation between the panelists was real, which is what we were striving for. So it worked out well, and I think everyone that went, over a 215 capacity crowd, I think.
Yeah.
Really good turnout, and I think everyone enjoyed it.
I did fail to mention Barry Wilcox was an amazing MC and told some really funny jokes, including he had taken a trip downstate to where I guess the area he used to live, and he commented when he went down there, he felt like he was re-entering an abusive relationship because of the terrible traffic and whatnot. I was so happy to get back home to Tallahassee. Anyway, you did a great job, and excuse me for overlooking you. You were key. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Vice Chair.
Thank you. Mr. Chair, I'll be brief. Quick shout out to my daughter who is in this year's Leadership Tallahassee class with Neil. I'm excited for her. Bond is celebrating 35 years. I know, Commissioner Maddox, are you doing something? I think we've got something coming back for them in the way of a proclamation or something at some point. Yeah. I'd be happy if I could ask for that to be brought back if it hasn't already been asked for.
All right, motion's been made for the 35-year celebration for Bond. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you.
And then happy Memorial Day. We'll have Memorial Day before we meet again. Safe travels. That's it for me, Mr. Chair. Yep.
We meet Tuesday after Memorial Day.
Okay. Mr. Administrator, I'm sure we still have copies left of the glossy, well-to-do ethics brochure magazine. Correct? Correct. All right. Just want to make sure if I can get an updated version. If there are no further items to discuss, I don't have anything. Thank you for all of your attentiveness, and we will meet back at 6. Motion to adjourn?